Hi horse lovers, welcome to Free Spirit Equestrian. My name is Shay and today my pony Aurora and I are going to show you some exercises you can do while posting in both walk, trot, and canter on the flat. So we really hope that you enjoy this and that it's helpful to you and your horse. Thank you. So the first posting exercise that I do when I'm doing exercises such as this is posting at the walk. Now, it's a lot harder than you might think because you don't have all the momentum that you do and the elasticity that you have when you're doing a trot or a canter. So you really want to reach down in those heels, find that rhythm, and slowly go up, down, up, down. And you'll find that rhythm and balance. And this really helps to keep it in check and make sure that you're really paying attention to what you're doing with your body and your rhythm. So I really honestly think this is one of the more difficult exercises, even though it's the warm-up, because you don't have the momentum once again. But really, really good to do some circles while you're doing this so that you can really have control of your body. The second exercise I do is my 2-point at the walk, and it's the same thing as posting at the walk as far as difficulty because you don't have the momentum. But again, this really helps to develop your core strength and your balance because you don't have the momentum to bring you along, and you really just have to hold yourself up and be still and be in tune with your horse at the same time. Now, a lot of this is not easy at first. It takes a few times. It's okay if you might sit down and go back up into your 2-point, sit down and go back up to your 2-point, but I do it for as long as I can. Then after my walking exercises, I'm just going to go into my regular posting trot just to break up a little bit of monotony and warm up so that I'm able to get my rhythm going and what I'm used to. So it's a really good way to, once you go into your trot, just do your regular posting for a little bit on your correct diagonals, and then you can go on to the next exercise. The next posting exercise is sit, sit, up. So as you can see, I'm sitting 2 times and then going up. Instead of up, down, regular posting, I'm sitting 2 times. So sit, sit, up, sit, sit, up. And again, this really helps you to develop your coordination and your rhythm and your balance. Now it takes time to get the hang of these, but once you kind of understand it on the rail, I think it's really important to do these exercises in circles and while you're turning as well, because then you're challenging yourself to not only change your rhythm up, but also multitask and steer while you're doing this as well. So it's a really good way to make sure that you're staying in tune and in check with your own body, and then of course your horse as well. Another exercise you can do is 2-point in your trot. Now, when I do 2-point in my trot, I make sure to do a lot of turns so that I'm really able to challenge myself and use my body and make sure that I'm staying in rhythm even while we're turning while in 2-point. So before we had sit, sit, up, now we're going to do up, up, sit. Now, normally people are better at one of these versus the other. So it really just depends on the rider and sometimes on the horse as well. So this one, you want to be a little more forward, not quite in that 2-point, but have a little more of a forward seat. And you want to make sure that you're using the momentum and also sitting lightly in your seat. Another posting and 2-point exercise you can do is take your horse over ground poles, both with posting and 2-point. This exercise really helps you to coordinate the timing of your posting, making sure that you're in the rhythm with the ground poles, and also at the same time getting your horse to lift and round over them. So this is a fantastic way to develop elasticity in you and your horse. I think it's a great exercise. I love doing it. Now the fun part is Aurora is partially gaited. She's a Tennessee Walker quarter horse cross, so she does have a little bit of an ambling trot, which makes these exercises a little more challenging for me as a rider. However, I really love doing them with her because it holds me accountable and it really strengthens my core. So I really like using her for these. Okay, so my favorite exercise is posting at the canter. So this one is a little tricky at first for a lot of people. A lot of my students, it takes them some time to figure it out. So you're really just trying to find that momentum. And at first, a lot of people, they really put their pelvic area very far forward over the pommel. You don't quite want to do that because what's going to happen if you go too far forward, you're going to slam back down onto the saddle. So you want to try to find that fine line between lifting and then lightly sitting. You definitely don't want to slam down on the saddle on the horse's back. But of course, it's going to take a few tries to be able to figure it out and do this properly. But once you do it, it is so fun and it's so excellent for the horse to be able to get off their back a little bit more, find your rhythm, and just have a blast. So as you can see here, I'm letting the momentum take me, but my pelvic area is not going way far over the pommel, and I'm sitting very lightly when I come back down and make contact with the saddle. You want to think your butt should touch that saddle as light as a feather. Is that always going to be the case? No, but that is our goal. So think really light and airy when you're doing this exercise. Also, when I do this exercise, I do it for quite a while because I want to make sure that I'm able to stay in rhythm and in balance. So our next exercise is 2-point in the canter. So with this exercise, we really want to reach super far down into our heels. We want to stay out of the saddle and we want to keep a straight back. Now her canter is very smooth, but it's also really different because she's gaited. So again, it challenges me and holds me accountable as an equestrian and as a rider to be able to get into 2-point properly. So yes, really stretch down in your heels, keep your head up, keep your chest up, keep your back flat. That is the goal in this exercise. And again, really, really great for strengthening your core, balance, and rhythm. All of the things that these exercises are really going to help you improve on. The next exercise we're going to do is 2-point over cross rails. So this is a really good one to get your horse to lift up and to allow you to coordinate when you should 2-point and find, again, rhythm and balance, the whole point of all of these exercises. Also, if you guys are liking this so far, if you could hit that like button, Aurora and I would really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Aurora really does have the smoothest canter though. I really enjoy riding her. She is a super fun little mare. She really does give a lot of effort and this has just been a blast. Also, make sure to give your horse a lot of praise during these exercises because us moving in different ways and trying to find our rhythm and balance, it can feel funny to them and we really just want to let them know that they're doing a good job too. So make sure that you do that as well, guys. Well, guys, we really hope that you enjoyed our session. And if you could do us a huge favor and subscribe to the channel to support us and to learn more about exercises and all about horses, we'd really appreciate it. Thanks, horse lovers.